Find an object that you're curious about in the mural and look in the description for which chapter it is.
I picked a bookshelf as my object of significance because for me, books are a really good way, like talking about books is a really good way to connect with other people, and I have formed a lot of memories with my friends and my family by like discussing cool things that have happened in the books we've read. So I think it's a really nice way to remember my home and my friends and family.
For my object, I picked the playset that's in my backyard. It's kind of old and worn down at this point. It has a couple of swings, and I picked it because I have a lot of memories of playing on it as a kid and spending a lot of time outside with my whole family, especially in the summers. And so it's something that reminds me of home and means a lot to me.
The object I chose is my bookshelf at home. It's pretty colorful and it's got a ton of like little trinkets on it. And it's got books like I've read recently and books that like from my childhood. And it just means a lot to me because I moved around a lot like throughout my life. And so it's kind of something that shows like everywhere I've been, just like from my childhood to now. And books are a pretty big thing in my family. My whole family's we're all really big readers. So kind of having that connection to my family means a lot to me.
I chose my childhood teddy bear. It is a white bear with red paws, and I got it on Valentine's Day when I was like 6 or 7 from my mom. And I've had it ever since then, and it's come everywhere with me, and it just feels like home.
My object is my family's vintage tape deck. It's a late 70s gold and tan model we have in our TV cabinet at home. It's special to me because my grandparents and parents all have really big record collections and tape collections from their own childhood. So when we get together for holidays and dinners, we listen to their music and they kind of tell us about the memories they have. So that's why I chose it.
My room has a lot of art, not just hanging up, but also on the walls. And there's this specifically one really convoluted area right by my desk where since freshman year I'd be like doodling on it or like spray painting on it or whatever. And it's really important to me because you can kind of see like my art form change from like freshman to senior year, and it's pretty cool, I think.
My object was my childhood home bedroom door. It's not really visually anything special. It's simply a door. The perspective is a bit weird, obscures it a bit because it's from the stairwell that most people would first see it if they were walking through my house. I think doors have a lot of symbolic value, in my opinion. They represent the idea that in every life and everything there are fractals of information just beyond our own perspective.
You are probably looking at Crystal Lake right now. It's from my hometown, just maybe a block or two away from where I live. I picked this because it's been a constant in my life. A lot of things have changed, but every day I can still wake up, walk over to the lake, and look at it.
For my object, I chose a carton of cherries. And they're very vibrant, red, bright. They look very fresh. They were at a farmer's market on my way back from the Lavender Festival that I went to, and it just really reminds me of a summer, specifically a summer in Michigan, which is where I grew up. So I just love being in that area, and I thought it was a cool photo.
My object was an acoustic Grafter guitar, and it's my guitar that I keep at my home in Virginia, and it was the first guitar that my dad gave me that I learned to play on. And I chose it because it symbolizes how I grew up with music all in my house and kind of surrounding me in Virginia, because Richmond has a really vibrant music scene. And my mom's a singer, and my dad played guitar since he was very young. So it just represents a very strong sense of home.
For as long as I can remember, my family on both sides have loved cooking. My mom, my grandma, me even, my aunts, uncles. And so I chose my family's recipe box because to me, family, or home, is where family is. And inside that box is generations of recipes and love from people who didn't even know I wasn't even a thought when they passed. And so wherever that box is where home will be.
I chose the cup of Dell's frozen lemonade because it's a very popular Rhode Island business, and it's not really summer until you've had a cup of Dell's frozen lemonade. And it reminds me of middle school because during like our field days, they would always have a truck or a little stand outside of our school so we could get a little cup of it to cool us down after doing activities outside.
For my object, I picked a telephone booth that lives outside of my apartment building. It's metal and glass, and I picked this object because it represents continuity and resilience in a place of constant change. And I've lived in this apartment building my whole life, and that's home to me.
This image is of my grandparents' house. It's in Skibbereen, County Cork, Ireland. It's where my mom grew up. And my mom means everything to me. She's my only parent. And she raised me and my brother to be, I think, she raised us and she tried really hard, and I love her for it. And we used to visit my grandparents' house in the summer, and I love seeing where she grew up.
I chose a bottle of maple syrup made in my hometown because it represents to me one of the main things that makes Vermont as a state unique and really feels like it holds a strong identity and strong sense of home to me.
I chose a walking path near my house because I'd often go running or walking with my friends, and the area where I live, there's not a lot of good places to see the sky because of all the buildings, and so if you go there you can see really pretty sunsets all the time.
I chose a stuffed animal that I have had since I was in the NICU. I was in the NICU for 11 days, and it was one of the only stuffed animals that was approved to be in the NICU. So I've had it with me since the day I was born, and I'm 18 years old. So it's given me a lot of comfort and been it's a security object, that's the point of it, but it's brought me a lot of comfort, especially through all the change, especially the changes that come with going to college.
I chose a Ferris wheel as my object, and it's this Ferris wheel that I saw on my way to Vermont that was in this weird old town that I don't even remember what it's called, but it was just an old town in Vermont. So I chose a Ferris wheel because I grew up a military brat, and I would move around a lot, and at the Ferris wheel you start at the bottom, a new beginning, and then you go around it, and then you have to start all over again, which is just how I've experienced my life this whole time. And yeah, so I picked a Ferris wheel.
The object I chose was my brother and I's bedroom windows, and the picture just shows it from the outside. I'm really close with my brother, and we've basically had the same bedroom since he was born. And it's just the picture kind of shows just how close we are, I guess, in a way. So yeah.
The object that I chose was a traffic cone that says yoga on it. And they put these out like in a park by my house where I go to yoga on Thursdays with my mom. And it just reminds me of home because I've always been like a very active person. I like to do yoga. I like to dance. And it reminds me a lot of home to know like other people like prioritize that in their lives too. So much that they put out like specific parking spots for it.